So,
Kink keeps calling me.
doesn't
Kink
it though?
keeps calling me. It
No matter
does.
how
Welcome.
many times I change my number, Kink keeps calling. Thank
Yeah.
you, Mr. Gabe, for that beautiful quote, by the way.
And we even got rid of landlines too, but Kink keeps calling me. Now it's the digital
Fucking
age.
hey.
So,
Seriously. It really
welcome
does too.
to YKF Sundays, everybody. I am here with the magnificent host, Nicco Noire, the real
Hi.
Nicco Noire from
Yes.
Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. I've known you for years. We started
You
this
have.
show. You've been on your Kinky Friends many times. We started this, and we have various topics. Everything we talk about is consensual. We're
It
adults. We
is.
talk about
Yes.
adults. We don't care about doing stuff that with other adults. Consensual. It's safe, sane, consensual. But we are kinky as can be. So
Yeah,
tonight's
we're
episode
left
is
of center.
yes.
Mm.
Tonight's episode is Kink Keeps Calling Me. And we're gonna do something really fun. We're gonna see 10 harsh truths about women according to the masculine revival. We'll go through
The
that. But let's
masculine
talk about
revival.
Kink Keeps Calling Me. I'm sure you get subs. You have subs, right? And
I
they
do.
just yes, and they can't stop. What happens? What do you do? How do you treat them if they have this addiction? First of all, let's start off not just you. Let's start off with porn addiction. All right, because
Yes.
it really stems from kink
How do you
porn
find
being
your
an
way to
addiction.
me? You find your way to me probably initially through Pornhub. So, this is the thing. There's all of these great movies. I make content. And the thing of it is porn and actual lifestyle, real, BDSM, dom sub relationships, um, they are not porn. They are completely different. It is one of those situations where it really looks good on paper. It might really turn you on, but when the reality of the actual scene is happening to you, um, and you realize, oh, I just like to jack off to this. I don't actually want it to happen to me, and so porn very much muddies the water of the actuality of BDSM and this lifestyle. That said, you know, kink is it's one of those things that, for instance, this is a perfect subject for me for this week. I have a client coming to see me actually tomorrow. Um, I've been seeing him now for 6 years. He is coming to me from a different state. This is going to be the first time I've seen him in almost 3 years. I'm super, super, super excited. But he came back to me. He sent me a text message and said, "Hey, I'm going on this road trip and I'll drive an extra 600 miles out of my way to come and see you because you know we had a really great connection." And so it's like no matter you know I've got states and time and distance between me and this client, but yet my client still has thought enough of me to drive several hundred miles out of his way just so he can say hello. You
Mm.
know, that means something to me.
Now, okay. When it comes to I think of the basement.
Mm-hmm.
There's the stereotypical incel guy who's in the basement who can't get laid, the involuntarily celibate person.
Right.
I had to be in the basement when Lynn died. I mean, I was with Lynn. I lived with Lynn. She died,
Mm-hmm.
and I had
But
to
you
live
didn't
in my
become an
parents' basement.
incel.
I didn't become an incel. No, fuck that. I was like,
Right.
I'm not gonna be that. I
You
seriously,
love
I
women.
didn't. Absolutely love women, and I wrote a book for a woman I loved.
Yeah.
You know, but I have to admit, it constantly called me. Oh my god, I couldn't get off my phone. I couldn't get off FetLife. I couldn't. I am, and especially after Lynn died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because kink really brought us together.
Yeah.
The kink really we brought us together. And after I lost that, grieving. That's why I wrote the book, Your Kinky Friends. The
Well,
book Your Kinky Friends is
the
all
saying
about that,
behind the. I'm sorry. Go ahead, honey. I keep
and it
interrupting
talks
you.
about like I talk about porn brain. Mark Maron
Yeah.
has a great um a bit about porn brain, and it's just
Mhm.
like you never, just like living in the city, you never know what you're gonna see, and you're
Mm.
always like one click away from something new and wild and different and weird,
Right.
and of
Right.
course you're gonna click, and eventually,
Right.
it's hours go by.
Right.
But I think there's a
Well.
flip side to that. I
Mhm.
think there's a flip side because I was in the hospital, and
Okay.
when I was in the hospital, right,
Mhm.
the liver transplant, I'm stuck. There's nothing but time. Porn got me through. Porn made me feel alive. Yeah, and I'll pictures of
Give you
you,
something to look
Nico.
forward to.
You sent me pictures. You sent me
Mhm.
pictures, and those pictures got me through. And
Yeah.
I'll shout out to some people. Madame C, Starla Vamp, Daddy Delilah, Nikki, those Goddess Violet, Mistress Violet,
Mhm.
and those were just some of the things that really kept me going.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh yeah.
alive here today because I felt alive because of porn.
Yeah.
So where do we find this? Where do we find the balance in this?
Well, where do we find the balance in this? See, I guess I'm the worst person in the world to ask that question because I took balance and just literally threw it out the window and made it my entire life.
Yeah.
Um, so the thing is there is a compulsion. I do have clients who, I'll see them on Monday and next thing I know, it's a Wednesday and they're like, do you have an availability? And then Friday rolls around. Do you have an availability? And I mean, and so what became, a session maybe once a month is now a session, every other week, which is now a session every week, which is now a session, twice a week. And it becomes obsessive and it becomes compulsive. And it's not as much to do with, you know, I don't think it has as much to do with, the activities that are happening during the session, so much as the connection and the relationship that you're building with your subs, and it's that becomes compulsory for people. They crave that attention from their dominant or the lack thereof, or whatever it is that they're into, and so helping people kind of pace themselves with that is difficult, especially when some people have the money to not they don't want to be paced. And
What about your subs looking at porn at work? I hear tons of stories of people getting fired for
mhm,
looking at porn at work compulsively.
right.
Do you make your subs look at porn at work? When I was at work, there were
Oh,
times where I was in chastity
yeah.
in a garter about the stockings under my suit and tie, and she would
Mhm.
just send me porn all day long, and I had to look at it because she'd quiz me on it.
Oh,
So
there will be a quiz. There will be a quiz. And we're taking notes and keeping score. Yeah, no, absolutely. For instance, let's take the Norwegian. Um, the Norwegian, I write him little sexy stories, um, and I will send him not porn, but like photos of me wearing his his freedom, while I'm getting dressed, while I'm, in the bathtub, while I'm, whatever, just, whatever. And I'm fairly certain it makes his life really difficult. But that said, he loves it. And I love that he loves it. And so those are the games that we play. But although I'm not going to see his I'm not I don't get to see him until August because he
mm.
sucks.
So we
But
got some stories about the should have known better stories. Are there any stories that your subs or just anybody, maybe other doms, right?
uh
People, and you don't have to mention names, of course,
yeah.
but just stories that like they should have known better. I know, for perfect example, I know someone who, or let's do this. I knew better. Someone wanted to invite me to this dungeon that I've
Mm,
never heard about. I know a lot of people where I live. There's no
mm,
big dungeon in the middle. I think they were trying to rob me. I knew
yeah.
better,
Right.
but
Right.
are there any stories of people who didn't know better?
I think there's a lot of stories about people who don't know better, and I guess that is, you know, something to talk about. Just because, you know, doms have this big, you know, charismatic, overwhelming, overpowering um, personalities and dispositions, and we do because that, you know, that's who we are, but it's what we do. It is our job to encompass you, to engulf you in everything that is us, and so in that there is some warning. You know, you should know better. You should know better to pay people you like. Don't give money to people on the internet if you have not verified who they are. How do you verify who
Mm.
they are? There's a lot of ways to do that, people. If you want to know who you're talking to, ask them to simply, can you please send me a picture? Could you please write my name on a piece of paper and send me a quick selfie? Easy peasy. I mean, there's a lot of ways to verify who you're speaking to. And if somebody isn't willing to verify who they are to you, um, then and you choose to give them money, then you should have known better. You know, I mean, I have a hard time feeling sorry for you at that point.
Now, what about? I know that you've gotten them.
Mm,
My friends are dominatrixes, so they tell me stories of desperate subs. I'll leave
mm.
my wife. I'll quit my job.
Uh-huh.
You know, uh, and then some disappear. You know, but they come
Yeah.
back. So, do you have any? So, what do you deal with something like that when someone wants to leave their wife for you? What do you tell
I've had that happen. Okay, so I've had that happen one, two, three times. Um, so it is very difficult, especially because A, I did not invite them into my life in that way. B, I did not ask them to end their marriage or anything like that ever. Um, and it's hard because I had someone show up at my door, you know, this literally happened. Bags in hand, shows up at my door. I'm here. Oh my God, you are here. What can I help you with? I'm here for you. I'm here to be your slave. I'm here to be your servant. I'm here to be your full time subservient. And um, what do you mean? I left my wife. I just did this whole thing. This whole thing. Next thing I know, about 20 minutes later, my phone starts ringing. Who is it? The wife. Um, and so this huge, I mean, just long, drawn out bullshit situation happened. And I literally was just trying to watch a movie on a Tuesday. And next thing I know, I've got this dude with suitcases. I've got this pissed off woman screaming. I've got this broken marriage. I mean, just, you want to talk about shit going sideways? It could not have gone more sideways if I tried. Or if he tried. But I wasn't looking for it. Second time it happened, that divorce was already in the works. That relationship had already ended, and that was a decision that that person had already made. But they had made it with the anticipation that they were going to be with me, and I was going to be their new wife. I'm sorry. I'm not
them?
going
I'm
to be your
sorry
new
about
wife.
Sunshine and I were talking about this, and I have some notes. You
Mm.
know, and I wanted to talk about the basement. I wanted to talk about the
I want to marry
hospital.
Sunshine.
And talk about work. We talk about work and going to work and stuff like that. But there's basically three feelings:
Mm.
happy, sadness, or stress. What kind
Mm.
of leads you to doing something kinky, right? You either want to be
Mm-hmm.
happy, or you're sad and you want to feel some kind of emotional
Feel
hole or
something
whatever.
different. Yeah.
And or so which do you think? And then there's the excited part too. So, excited is just someone who wants a rush. What for
Right.
you personally? What motivates you? What drives you?
Okay, so my main motivating factor is the fact that someone is giving me control over their entire situation and then allowing me to poke and prod and provoke and build up, destroy, um all their hopes and dreams. No, I mean, honestly, I love my biggest motivating factor is the willing submission. You know, I don't want to have to tell you what to do. I want you to want to do it. Just absolutely, like, just, you know, I don't even know how to explain it, but
That leads me to
it's
my
the
next thing.
willing submission that really goes. Yeah.
That leads me to my next thing.
Okay.
Masculinity. It
Mm.
seems like I look around the news, YouTube, Instagram. There's all these people who are like masculinity, masculinity. What it is to be a man. You have to be a man. You have to do this. You know,
Mm.
stuff like that. So the masculine revival says 50 harsh truths about women. Okay,
Mm.
I'm just curious about your opinion on this. Okay,
Wait,
50
wait,
harsh truths.
let's take a look at this picture real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so he's got a gun. Okay, that's two women. Let's point that out for
Yeah.
a second. Okay. Two
Okay.
women, a gun, and a car.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it looks like the male revival wrote this. Let's go.
Okay. Okay. Women are naturally jealous creatures. It's not a trait they grow out of. They just get better at hiding it at the core of jealousy and insecurity. What do you think?
I'm going to say yes. Women
Okay.
are jealous. And it's because just society, we are raised to be in singular relationships. So when we see men acting on their, actual animal behaviors, which is not to be in a singular relationship, but to spread their seed around, um, we get fucking irate because we're like, motherfucker, I thought you were with me. And he was like, well, I was with you and now I'm with her. And so that's
Okay.
why I think it's much easier to either be in a polyamorous relationship or have an open relationship or have a very clear understanding with the person that you're choosing to be with that, you know,
But you agree that they're
they,
naturally jealous.
I think so, yes.
Okay. Number two, women,
Yeah.
whether married or in a serious relationship, are always ready to move on to the next best option for themselves. They don't care about your sacrifices or feelings. They're loyal to their feelings. Put yourself and your goals first. Now they're talking to the men who are reading this. Always strive to better yourself. So, are you always looking for someone? Are you always looking over your shoulder for someone new?
Absolutely not. That's absolutely 100% untrue. Um, I think that that's a situation where someone is projecting their reality onto the fairer sex because it makes them feel less guilty about their 1 foot out of the doorisms.
All right. Number three, if you are a man, never look for sympathy. This is unlikely to help you because it will most likely cause you contempt. Women and children who are weak, I'm sorry, women and children who are weak are helped. Men who are weak are despised. Do you agree with that?
I don't even know where to start with that. You know, what the fuck? Like,
He's reviving
so if
masculinity.
right, okay, so Nick, um, if you were to tell me, I
And he's
mean,
using Chris Rock.
we
He's exploiting Chris Rock to do it.
well, I think that's probably the best option. Um,
Okay.
I'm just trying,
Okay.
like, don't look for sympathy. What kind of sympathy could you possibly be looking for from me that would make me think less of you?
Hmm.
If
Okay.
you're coming to me for sympathy and that sympathy that you're requesting makes me think less of you, then I probably want you to get the fuck out of my face anyway.
Well, Nico, I know what you're craving, and you crave dominance. And according to number
I
four,
do.
women crave leadership and dominance. And the more dominant you are, she's speaking to me, I am with you,
Mm.
the more submissive you're going to be to me. Mix dominance with affection.
That's not the right answer. The right answer is yes. Women do crave dominance and control, and it's only because they have been oppressed for a gazillion fucking years. If you were to come at me in a very I'm going to swing my dick around and tell you what's what sort of way, um, that would be the first and last. I would not have that.
And
But
now
I
there's
would think it's
now there's
precious.
now they're with all this masculinity stuff, they're selling stuff. Okay,
Oh,
so there's
please,
an
let's do
ad.
that.
Number
Are we selling
five.
is it
I
like
don't
Rogaine and
whatever.
fucking
Dick
what are the
pills.
dick pills?
No, no.
Yeah.
Number five, being
Yeah.
mysterious is a tool that keeps women interested, attracted, and thinking about you.
Mm.
Be mysterious. They'll want you more. Nico, am I
So
mysterious?
you're very mysterious, Nick.
I'm an open book.
Nick,
I literally
you're
wrote
a
3
fucking
books.
open book. Are you kidding me? Um, listen, I don't know what being mysterious means. If being mysterious means not texting back for like 3 or 4 hours, or if it means, you know, only telling half of what you did last night, or if it means, you know, being vague about something that clearly someone needs transparency about, don't be mysterious. That's not
Mm,
mysterious. That is disrespectful and borderline lying.
number 6.
Mystery is for movies. If you want to really, really um, if you want to show someone you really care, be completely fucking transparent. I mean, so fucking
Yes.
transparent
Yes.
that you never have to fucking question shit because you know transparency.
If you want to show someone you really care, be transparent.
Completely.
That's the quote of the night. Awesome. Okay, number 6. A man who sacrifices his goals for women ends up losing both. Your mission in life should come before women. All right. So my mission, according to this person, my mission in life is to come before women. I have to come before. Is that ejaculation too, or is that just like
I hope not.
everything? Okay. No, I tend to I stand by this. I make my woman come 3 or 4 times before I even think of ejaculating. Fuck
I
that.
think they
And
should
then
teach that in school. Sex ed
man who
shouldn't be like the mechanics. It should be actually like, well, it should
what
be
if
the
my
mechanics, but then it should be the real mechanics. Like, here, hey,
my mission in
make her
life should
come.
come before women. My mission. What if my mission in life is women?
Mm.
What if my mission in life
Well,
is to please women and be around women and just to love women in any way, shape, or form? That's my mission. So this is worded weird. He will complain to you for not spending time with her, but will never also respect you for it. What do you say
she
about
will
that?
complain to you for not spending time with her, but she will also respect you. What? Okay, here's the thing. If okay,
This fucking guy.
this fucking guy, if I have to fight for your attention in any way, shape, or form, at any given time for any fucking reason, if there is anything that's going to take priority over me, then you have me fucked all the way up, and that's yeah, all done,
All right, this
all
is fun.
done.
Women, number 7, women would rather share an alpha than be saddled by a faithful beta. Now, from
Who
someone who's
fucking wrote this?
the masculine revival, Shorevere, I don't
I
know, just some on
I
Twitter I
think
just stumbled on.
I think I'm going to write a letter.
But okay, this is the thing about it. Women would rather share an alpha than be saddled by a faithful beta. This is the message that they're trying to portray. Now, anyone who's in the BDSM community knows that betas, subs, they're essential. A good
They
one
are
is
essential.
essential. And a dom wouldn't be a dom without their sub, and vice versa.
Nope.
So
Nope.
I don't know. It doesn't have a kind of awareness of context and perception of what is going on with human
Okay, so
beings
I
in
so so
relationships,
so so
especially in
I'm,
the
I'm
kink
gonna play
community.
devil's advocate on this one. So I am a modern woman of 2024. I am a pro dom. I am men's bosses. Now, I see all the time in scenes, you've got alpha male players, masters, and they'll have, several, female subs, and I see that all the time, and they live like a polyamorous, full time lifestyle relationship. And the fact of the matter is, back to question one, the jealousy part is where that's the fatal flaw there, because even though they may agree to share him, at some point he's going to take favorites, he's going to have favoritism, or he's going to get bored of both of them and go find a new flavor. So the thing of it is you can go ahead and share your alpha person, but at the end of the day, your alpha will drop you both like a fucking bad habit. So does it matter?
All right, number 8, when everyone is freaking out and losing their minds, you are the one who is calmer, cooler, and figuring out what to do. All right, before we begin on the rest of that, I like to be, no, there's talking about, the person is writing, so a man is reading, so they're talking to me.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So that being said, I find great pride being the calm and cool one. At the end of every show, I say, be kind, be cool, be kind, and keep an open mind. That's my style. That's seriously. So I say that. But let's see what he says next. Women love being around the man who is always calm, cool, and relaxed.
That's the man.
That's the man women crave. Nicco, your thoughts?
To an extent, yeah. You do want someone who is not going to be a drama queen in a situation that either A, doesn't require it, or B, shit's gone sideways and someone needs to be the voice of reason. If it's always appreciated. But by anyone, not just men.
Yeah, I don't think the fact that they're just saying women love this. Yeah, every woman's different.
I mean, if a butt plug gets stuck in your asshole, don't trip out.
General things are just weird.
We can get it out.
All right, number 9. Being boring and predictable is the perfect mix to make women run away from you as fast as they can. Being unpredictable is the key. I like a good unpredictable person. It's exciting, but yet there's also, I like keep a balance, and that's what this whole thing's about. So number 10, I'm just going to keep on going. How about this?
Go.
Women do not respect weak men. They don't mean to do harm, but female psychology preys on weak men like vultures on dead meat. I'm sorry. Okay. This is why you should be bold in your actions. If you give her an inch, she'll take a mile.
If all you have is an inch to give, then she's going to want a mile.
Now, what I'm really curious about, I've been noticing this a lot in Twitter, Instagram, all this like men trying to be men. Like, we're men. We have to be men. We have to be. You're born a man. Like, it's all right.
You have a penis.
You've been running the fucking world, right? You've been running the world. You don't like. It's just.
Yeah, you've been running the world. You have a penis. I mean, you should be. You are the quote unquote biggest, baddest animal on the planet. But fact of the matter is,
what I'm wondering is, does all of this masculinity, right, basically perpetuate fear in the man, in the lonely man? So therefore, this fear, right, it becomes like an addiction. Kink and sex become like an addiction. So that's how they're really controlled. So in other words, if they lose it, if they don't feel that way again, it's that fear that all kind of stems through it. And a lot of it comes from all this like masculinity is, I think a lot of it is because they can't get laid. So they're saying that they're trying to like saying women are doing this and women are doing this to deceive you, and be a man to do that. Like, why does being a man have to be controlling of women or controlling anybody? Why does it like there, or you could live and survive. Like, yes, there is the dynamic, the DS and survival, of course. People are
Right,
going to
right.
try to come after you, and you got to fight back.
Mhm,
Fuck
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
I
It's just
think,
weird. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it is weird. I don't think that there has to be, we live in a time right now where gender has kind of been thrown out the window, and it doesn't really matter if you're a man or a woman, or what you represent as, or what um how you you know uh, represent yourself, or how you want to be um called, presented, whatever, all of our pronouns. But at the end of the day, there are only two genders. It is male, it is female. I don't care who you want to be, that is indifferent. But what I do know is that on this planet, women outnumber men 2 to 1, and women are raising men by themselves. Men are void of a male or masculine, I think, like male figure in their lives, and so they're being raised by groups of women, and so of course their masculinity has been kind of withdrawn from them because they had nothing to draw from. They are building off of what they know. They are turned on by what they see, and what they see are women everywhere. And so
But what
why do they
about
want to cross dress? Why do they want to be more feminine? Why do they idolize that and think it's beautiful? It's because they were raised by women. They were raised in, and that's what they know. I'm fairly certain that if there were more men in their lives, that dynamic probably would shift a little bit. But because women are literally running the world, we are raising, I don't want to say effeminate men, but we are raising more sensitive and more um, emotionally aware human beings. And I think that's being mistaken for emasculation, or femininity in men, and that's not the case. It's just we're finally allowing men to be emotional creatures. Up until this point, have not been allowed to cry, show their
yeah.
emotions, be upset, get angry. I mean, you have to be this stoic thing. And I think we're finally living in a time where you're allowed to cry. You're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to have a hissy fit and have anxiety, and need to take a fucking personal day. Um, and I think that this is really the first time in history that men have been allowed to be human.
I also think like that fear though stems from see all this masculinity. Um, Also, people the shame and the fear
Yeah.
that people say that like you're wrong, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this. That makes me want to do it more. I
Well,
was I
yeah.
was thinking about, and I heard you talking to Sunshine about like chastity, saying no and saying you can't do this makes people want to do it. You know what I
Well,
mean? So the fact that
yeah.
we're not
Defiance
supposed to be
disorder.
kinky, the fact that we're not supposed to be kinky, that we have to sneak around, that we can't tell our
You have to
significant
keep it a
others
secret.
that we like to wear panties or some shit like that, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever, like that it all stems from fear, and we must us
It does
I think
stem from
personally
fear.
we need to balance. I need to find balance.
Mm-hmm.
I love kink. I love the BDSM community. I love the
Yes.
LGBTQ community. I think that
Yes.
if you identify as a certain gender, you have the right to identify as that gender, and no
Yeah.
one should fuck with you unless it's
No, no one
consensual
should fuck with you.
role play.
It's a great big weird world, and I mean, the funny thing is nobody is a snowflake, but we all are snowflakes.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is you may have come into this world, let's say a man, but you have always been a woman. And I love the fact that we live in a day and age that transformation is not only just possible, but it's
Mm.
it's accepted. It is it it's not something where we're like, oh my god, they must be a fag. They must be a
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day they used to say horrible shit. And
They used
fact of
to
the matter
kill
is
people.
they used to kill
They
people.
used
I
to
mean,
kill
they still, I'm
whores.
sure, I mean, just the most unimaginable things. And I love the fact that we live in a time that You can be a boy, or you can be a girl, or you can be a helicopter.
I still
But
do.
exactly, but you can be yourself. And I think that's really the takeaway is the most
Mm,
important thing. I mean, we live on this planet for such a short time. What in the fuck is the point of making other people happy when you came here alone, you're gonna leave here alone? Make yourself happy. And if making yourself happy means putting on a chastity cage and a cute little dress and cooking your queen dinner, then go do that shit. Nick.
And with that being said, 15% off all inventory at Locked in Lust with offer code YKF. I want to end it by saying this. Yeah, kink keeps calling all of us. I mean, you're
It
watching
does.
this show right now because you have an interest in kink or us or something, you know. Uh, Good, wonderful. Let's have balance, people.
Yeah.
I'm an addict. I have an addictive personality. I struggled hard for years,
Mm-hmm.
very
Mm-hmm.
very hard drugs. I'm surprised I'm not dead, right? It took this long to finally teach me a lesson that I need balance, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
comes like kink, and that's why I
Yeah.
like being a switch personally because there's balance.
Yeah.
Nicco Noire, how can people support you? Reach out to you, just support you in any way, shape, or form.
If you would like to have a session with me, albeit in real life or FaceTime or phone or however you want, you can go to niconoire.com and there you will find all of the links to my official social media pages. And yeah, go there, find me. Yeah, I'm done.
Right? Go to
I was
yourkinkyfriends.com.
like, am I done? Yeah, I'm done.
Go to yourkinkyfriends.com.
Buy
Subscribe.
where am I going?
Subscribe.
This way. Buy his
Honestly,
books.
yes. Your Kinky Friends, the coolest way to kill yourself. I also wrote another book called
Chip
Chip
nail
Like
black
Nail
nail
Polish.
polish.
They're all connected, but they're all standalone at the same time, and they're filled with sex and drugs and an endless amount of music references.
Yes.
Nicco, oh, thank you so much, and everybody out
Nick,
there watching.
thank you so much.
We're in this
I
together,
love you,
people.
honey.
I
We
love
are.
you. I do. And we're in this together. Remember, all of us. Let's help, keep it balanced. Let's keep it balanced.
Get the
Seriously, everything's
balance
cool.
right.
With that being
Little
said,
Depeche Mode for your head.
love the best road.
Love 'em.
Be cool, be kind, keep an open mind. Take care.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.